from some foundations that have been laid by you or your progenitors. I think that I strongly believe that my life has been impacted by a couple of factors. First is parenthood or parental influence. My parents taught me so many things. My father was a businessman, and my mother was a super businessman. Actually, it was my mother. Because way back in primary school, my mother had a chain of restaurants. And I was joining her in servicing those restaurants, in preparing the food, taking them to the points, and going to the markets to prepare for the next day. In fact, as a young person, eventually when I went to the secondary school, in those places my mother was working, her restaurants were situated because it was an industrial setup, the Shell residential area in Port Harcourt, Shell IA, the Trans-Amadi industrial layout. She had restaurants in many of those outlets. I remember my friends and I in secondary school taking a contract to do landscaping for some of the buildings that have been done by Micheletti, Taylor Woodrow, and all kinds of companies that were building those places. So we did landscaping, planting flowers as a young secondary school person. So I learned industry, I learned business from my parents, in addition to the other fundamental principles of life and responsibility. I was the first of 12 children, so I learned to be responsible for my younger ones. They were mostly boys, and so I learned a lot from my parents. The other area that impacted my life was, of course, school. I went to two wonderful secondary schools, Okere Grammar School, where my faith in God was built and where those Christian virtues were established. And I went to Government Secondary School, Owerri, where also I learned discipline, I learned respect, I learned, the finesse of presenting yourself and building confidence. When I was climbing here, I saw that you said one of the quotes there by somebody that one of the things that helps you to lose fear of the public or speaking, those kind of was first to know what you're going to talk about, to be confident in, have the knowledge on the subject. So I think that's what's something that I learned in the secondary schools, those two secondary schools. Those sets me on the path. And so when I got to start life, I already had these foundations that had been established, foundation of hard work, industry, diligence, honesty, truthfulness, and preparations. I'm preparing for taking on responsibility, sacrifice, putting others before yourself. These were the things, the leadership as a young person, leadership in the secondary school. I was prefect, I was president of societies, land organization. I remember when I was the president of the junior debating dancing in my school drama, my junior class, the junior society was having more activities than the senior. So the president of the senior debating and dancing called me and said, "Why are you able to do this?" And I began to tell him my secret of how I'm able to organize more activities. So by the time I was ready to go to work, I was already at principles and now ready to apply them in a different format.
So would you say all of these influenced your choice of pharmacy? Because I know that at the core of your professional path, you started out as a pharmacist.
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
What particularly inspired
to
you?
be sincere to you, I didn't originally want to, I didn't set out to be a pharmacist. You know, I belong to this group of people who were not sure what they wanted to be, in that I was doing well in everything you asked me to do. I was an all-rounder, you know, did well in the sciences, did well in the arts and extracurricular activities. So it was difficult for me to know what I wanted to do. But because I was doing well, leading my class, you know, time to time, I was now chosen as a science student, and then asked, what would you like to do as a science student? So I began to think of medicine, because that's where they put you. If you're a bright child in the 60s, you'd rather do medicine or engineering, you know. But to be sincere to you, I did well in those sciences, including mathematics, but I had a flair for the liberal, for the arts. I did well in English language, English literature, Latin. Those ones I didn't read for them, but I had to read, and I still did well. But I've been railroaded. There wasn't, as you find today, you know, career counseling. They didn't exist at that time. I would just say, this is a science student. So I agreed. But my heart was somewhere. My heart was in journalism, in history, in geography, in law. That's where my mind was. But I was asked to be so I decided I was going to read medicine. But the war intervened, and I spent 3 years fighting. I was a soldier in the Biafran army. So when the war ended in 1970, I told myself I wasn't going to read medicine again. I've lost 3-4 years. Go and do 7 years in medicine. I'll become a grandfather before. So I said I was not going to. So I was pushed back to that, my love for more liberal. So I chose business administration. When I read all the, prospectus of universities, because you need to apply to individual universities in those days, I decided I was going to do business administration, because I was in tune when I read what it involved. And luckily also I read economics in my final year, which was exciting to me. But as God will have it, I met my uncle. I went to visit my uncle, who was a civil servant. So he asked me, are you preparing for university? I said, yes. In fact, I have my form with me. He said, what are you planning to read? I said, I want to read business administration. He looked at me and said, whose business do you want to administer? Whose business do you want to administer? He said, look, I advise you. Today I'm a civil servant and I'm not enjoying this work. You should go and do a professional course. If you still want to do business, use your professional course to do business. So I said, okay, what do we do? This is medicine where I want. So we began to look what was close to medicine that I would not spend so many years. That's how pharmacy came. But as I tell people, yes, I'm a pharmacist by training, but I'm not practicing pharmacy. I'm actually practicing business administration, business management. That original thought, original thing I went to, I'm using pharmacy as a profession. But my practice, I mean, when I left school, I joined Pfizer. I wasn't in any pharmacy shop. I wasn't in the hospital. I didn't do anything really pharmaceutical. Pharmaceutical sales and marketing could have been done also by other people in biological science or health. So, but it has accelerated, it made it easy for me to have a stepping stone in Pfizer, and then the rest of the values and talents and that I had now helped me to accelerate in my business.
So you're saying that you enjoyed the benefit of a convergence between what your heart really wanted, that represented who you thought yourself to be, your real self, and what we could call a special purpose vehicle, in this case being pharmacy.
A pharmacy.
That convergence And both could actually coexist.
Yes.
To still enable an individual to thrive and succeed.
That is it. That is it. I mean, and that's what has accelerated my performance. Because when I joined Pfizer, it was 15 years between being a first level entry manager and being chairman and CEO. And people say it's a record for a multinational. In fact, when I became area manager, I was under 2 years old. And I had to manage people that were 6, 7 years in the company, pharmacists and other professionals. So the liberal communicative side of me, I talked about journalism because I was editor of the secondary school magazine. Even when I went into university, I became editor of. I became a Cobra chief. There was a newspaper in Ife. If you ask anybody, it was one of the most feared newspapers. Cobra. I became a Cobra editor-in-chief of Cobra. I was called Cobra chief. And that was journalism. When I even joined pharmacy, I became editor-in-chief of Nigerian Journal of Pharmacy. I was the first editor who was non-academic. So it's a reflection of those my innate, but I now built on the foundation of pharmacy, and was able to express that that talent, and understanding of where your flair is. If it was today, I wouldn't even go to pharmacy. I would have gone straight. To other more liberal arts and more liberal social sciences. Yeah, but I've met, like you say, I've merged both. I've met both, and it has caused a leverage. Because if I had done just mere liberal or natural or social science, I probably wouldn't have the opportunity to climb through a pharmaceutical company.
So clearly, from this convergence, you call it merging.
Yeah,
something can be said about your being strategic. Strategy being a skill.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you would have achieved this convergence. There are many that probably had both, but could not see the linkage possibilities. But you did have good strategy sense.
It did, because I had opportunity after reading pharmacy to go and work in the hospital, to go and be a hospital pharmacist or go into community pharmacy. But I chose industrial pharmacy, and through the concept of marketing, because industrial pharmacy at that level entrance was marketing and sales, which agreed with who I was. But the science of pharmacy was enough for me to communicate effectively the science of medicine. So anybody who didn't have the science of medicine but had the skills to communicate will have problem, because you don't have the confidence you speak about when you talk about public speaking or communication. I had the confidence. I was a pharmacist. I knew the sciences, and I could communicate with the skills of communication and articulation that I had. So it was the best of two worlds.
Yeah. All right, Mazi, there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to hear a lot more. I'm particular about finding out from Uncle Sam what key lessons helped shape him from having to go to war at such a young age, and how that has contributed on his journey, or contributed to his journey to the top. We'll be right back.
This is Journey to the Top with me, Mr. Motivator, only on the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first all-motivational TV platform, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence in Lagos. Your journey starts now.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Journey to the Top, and I've been carrying on a very important and inspirational conversation with Mazi Sam Ohaboa. He's told us about his sense of strategy and how he was able to ensure a convergence between his love for the social sciences and liberal arts and his actual course of study. And I think this is very instructive for a lot of young people struggling out there, feeling at a loss as to what do I do. I'm saddled with having studied this particular subject matter, and there is no place for me out there in the marketplace. Perhaps there's something you're missing, and you need to take a more strategic view of your skill set, your passion, your interest, and create your own convergence. And Mazi, I believe that's the point that you made in your last remarks.
Correct.
So still talking about strategy.
Yeah.
I can imagine how challenging and how harrowing it must have been for a young Sam Ohaboa to be shortlisted into the Biafran army.
Yeah.
That was 1967, I believe.
That's when the war started.
When the war started.
But I got into the army in 69.
In 69. So I've been conscripted at such a young age. I wasn't conscripted.
Okay. I volunteered.
Okay, you volunteered.
I actually volunteered in 68.
68, okay.
You know, should I take it from there?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, when the war started in 67, I was in Form 4. Yeah. So.
And how old were you then?
Form 4, I was just 16 years.
16?
Yes. 66. The war started in 67, July. I was still 16. I became 17 in August. So we were hoping that it would be a short. That's what they told us in school. Just go home. Your teachers are involved in war affairs. You'll come back. So we sat down, started reading. It wasn't working. We started all manner of things. I had a conviction on the righteousness of the Biafran situation. So I volunteered to support the effort. In fact, when I went for my first selection at Bonimo Wharf to enter the Navy in 1967, September or October.
That's in Rivers State?
Yeah, Rivers State. I lived in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
So the guys asked me how old I was. I said I was 17. They said 17, and you want to join the Navy. Please go and wait after the war. If you want to join Navy, you join. I left. But you know, later on in the Biafra, even if we were 14, we had been conscripted or 13. So in 68, there was an opportunity to volunteer, what they call Port Harcourt volunteers, to go and do some work in Enugu. I volunteered. That was where now from there I went to the army fully. So I was not conscripted. I joined the army by my own volition.
So were you not afraid in terms of the possible dire consequences and risk to your life?
I was not. That's something about conviction. When I saw the beheaded head of people from this southeastern Nigeria that were being shipped from the north, coming with our heads, so with our breasts. And I had watched all the efforts made to reconcile Nigeria. After the July 1967 second coup, it was supposed to be a revenge coup because the January 66 was regarded as pro-Igbo coup. So this was a pro-Northern coup. And they killed all the soldiers, killed Ironsi, killed everybody. If it ended there would have been no war. But the battle was taken outside the barracks. Civilians were now being killed in Kano, in many parts of the north. And that's what started the trouble. Effort was made to reconcile. Ojukwu asked everybody to go back. People ran away. September, they went back, and a second program happened. People who survived the first one, Ojukwu assured them that all was well. They went back to, the people from the south is like to travel. They are the strongest believers in Nigeria. So they moved back. Then there was a second program. And what was when I was in Enugu, and I saw at the stations people coming back. So when somebody fights you in his territory, you run to your own territory. He follows you. What are you supposed to do? You either accept me as part of and give me peace, or let me go to my own way. It's as simple. That was my logic, and that logic still remains today. If we want a country like a country that is mutually acceptable to everybody, where we want to be happy, that's the basis of my New Nigeria group. Let's make a new Nigeria where everybody will be treated equally. So it's the same thing. When it wasn't happening and they needed us to go and fight, to defend ourselves, especially when the federal forces came to say, we want to force you back to Nigeria, and yet even Aburi Accord you will not accept anything that would make us have peace. So we went to war with that. I didn't care. I wasn't worried about my my own safety. My conviction was that we would not allow ourselves to be beaten outside, driven away. You come back to your own enclave, and you also be self-defense. What else are you supposed to do? So Biafra, I went there in self-defense, and of course, I did my utmost, you know, and I give God the glory that I survived. Of course, I had a bullet wound. I was shot. I still carried a scar, but God saved me. And but the war was a great learning.
Learning, yes, that's.
First is that it's helped me to destroy fear. I lost 90% of fear because if you are walking to a war front, people are being killed. In fact, the first day I went to the war front, boy, I was trained as an officer, you know, and I didn't finish my training. We were harvested prematurely and then brought to the war front, commissioned, and then was said as a second lieutenant. The first person I met was the commanding officer then, Achuzia. He gave me something. He said, look, in this war, there are two enemies. There's one enemy in the front, there's one enemy behind. The enemy in front, you can kill him or he kills you. But the enemy behind will kill you. There's no opportunity to kill the enemy behind. So choose where you want to stay. You want to stay in front and face the enemy in front, or come back and face the enemy behind. Who was the enemy behind? Himself. So it means go. Don't run back. You know, I mean,
So clearly, like, your bridges have been burned.
No, there's nowhere. There's no
retreat, no surrender.
Even I told the guy he sold my mind. I say, you're crazy. I don't have anything to do with any enemy behind. I'm going to go and come back. So that was indoctrination that took me. So I was determined to succeed, defend myself, achieve the objectives. In fact, it was irreversible. I remember one particular occasion where we had to retreat because of very difficult terrain and the strength of the opposing soldiers. We retreated. Our commander met us there and said, on your marks, go. We should go back to that place we came back with, whether anything. So we are running, we even waded through water because he was going to fire you if he met you. So we ran back and into our, so I lost fear. Number two, I learned perseverance and adaptability. You know, during the war, at a particular time, even talking about that time I started the war in Uzuakoli, it was early in the year. They've just finished planting the yams and all that and creating mounds. It was open field. Our only protection was lying below the mound. And then there'll be rain. So the water from the mound will soak on your body while you're lying down and firing. You know, for weeks you won't have food because before in fact, there was once it took 2 weeks to bring us food. And when they brought the food, boiled yam, if you open the yam, it became so gummy that you couldn't break it. The gums will hold the yam. Still, we ate 2 weeks old gummy yam. Where did we get water to drink? Water that gathered on the ground, you know, in between two mounds. You collect the water and drink. When you go through that, you don't see any obstacles. You don't see any real serious inhibition to achieving your targets and goals.
Wow, that's so amazing. Yeah. And transferring all of that into corporate life.
Yeah.
Would you say that was one of the bases upon which you were so daring?
Yeah.
So daring as to tell a old fighter that, look, we're going to buy you out.
Yes.
We're going to buy you out. A bunch of management executives who didn't even have
$1
the money. In the very heart of the June 12th scenario, the very heart of the June 12th crisis back then, with all of the economic problems, and you stuck your neck out. Tell us a bit about that. How you became the first Nigerian company. It was the first of its kind.
Yeah, first management buyer.
Yes, management buyer. How did that happen?
Well, first is, like I said, the
courage to do that.
Combine the lessons from my parental and school to the war. The war, if the war wasn't that people can die, I will recommend it for everybody. Because the preparation of the war, you can't get it anywhere. It's practice. First, accomplishing. Achieving. Yes, you have targets. Objectives. You have to get that territory. You have to get it. You have to strategy, because you have to plan. The strategy, for example, which I used in one of my most successful battles, was two successful battles. The first was what led to my promotion from a second lieutenant to local captain, and the battle that, my last battle, there were two successful battles. Was successful, you didn't even know I had wound. It was successful. Strategy. Now, I don't know if I have time to just mention
that. Go ahead, please.
First strategy, when I did my first, because I was in a war front where we came from another unit to the Aba area. The CEO of our battalion was from that area. So he was bent on showing capacity to liberate his area. We started to fight. He died. He was killed. So then later on, my company commander was killed in the battle. So I immediately became company commander. I was just a platoon commander. I became company commander. My battalion commander has died. My company commander had died. So I was now come to command. And Brigade Headquarters say continue the fight to liberate. There was one market they call a Kapara market on the way to Aba. We want to go launch into Aba. I said, okay, this wants everybody to die. Anyone that takes the commander of battalion, you can imagine the number of other non-commissioned and commissioned officers that will have died before the commanding officer would die. Then the battalion commander died. So I told my boys, I said, everybody sit in. They want us to die. We can't die, all of us. So we sat on our trenches. I say, everybody raise your gun and be shooting. So that they'll be hearing us shoot, but nobody is going to kill anybody. However, after I did that for a while, I told myself this won't go anywhere. So I began to strategize. And I discovered that the enemy in front of us was tough. We were confronting him. What did I do? We've been fighting for, in a battle that we came and started fighting for days and weeks. So everybody was getting weary. We were suffering casualties. They were also suffering casualties. So what did I do? I got a strategy. I selected a crack team of 12 soldiers, 14, to go and harass them. I call it a harass. So this is the front where we've been fighting with them. So I took this people to a flank. Then from the flank, they fired them, and we had very strong firing. That flank battle rattled them because it took them by surprise. What did they do? They jumped from their trenches and began to run. Immediately I saw them start running, I came back and recruited my men. We pursued them. That day we covered almost 7 kilometers. Wow. We got to high school, which was a major. After that operation, I became like a star. Look, the unit who came, that we replaced, had been in the position for 6 months. They didn't get 1 inch. But in one day, I did 7 kilometers. It was beyond me. I just don't know how it happened, but That was a strategy that worked.
Yes.
We hit them from the flank, from the side, where they were not expecting an attack. And the attack was strong. And I mean, well, like what happened to some biblical story where they had beggars, you remember, walking.
Yes.
And they would say a big army was there. And they ran away. It was exactly what happened.
So strategy, it seems to me that we keep coming back to strategy.
Yeah.
And it seems to me also that a lot of what you learned in strategy, which we've seen in your corporate life, in very significant terms, a lot of that you learned during your time in the military.
It was helpful. You know, I had grown and I didn't honed it. So what I did was to apply them also in the corporate world. One of the things that worked for me is, you know, the power of vision. When I joined Pfizer, I did not plan to make a full career. I planned to spend 5 years and understand how Pfizer operates so I can go set up my own business with my uncle who had already brought money. He wanted me. I said, no, let me go and get experience. So he said, how much time do you want? I said 3 to 5 years. He said 3. But by the 5th year, I had become a senior manager. I couldn't leave anymore. And I had to change my strategy. The next thing I did was to now aspire to become chairman and CEO
of Pfizer.
Of Pfizer.
Right. Uncle Sam, we're going to, I want you to hold that thought.
Yes.
Let's go for a quick break.
All right.
In the world of professional speaking, there is a gold standard, a mark of excellence recognized globally. It's called the Certified Speaking Professional, CSP, a designation held by less than 17% of the world's professional speakers. And in Nigeria, only one man holds this coveted title. Meet Ubong Essien, West Africa's only certified speaking professional, Nigeria's #1 authority on public speaking and communication mastery. The CSP is not just a title, it's a promise. A promise to deliver solutions to the challenges even the high and mighty face in today's demanding world. Overcoming stage fright and anxiety. Crafting and delivering messages with clarity and power. Inspiring and influencing audiences in boardrooms, conferences, and beyond. When you work with Ubong Essien, CSP, you don't just learn how to speak, you learn how to lead, influence, and excel. Here's what you stand to gain. Confidence to own any stage. The ability to craft messages that resonate and inspire. Connect with West Africa's only certified speaking professional today. Speak with power. Lead with influence. The gold standard awaits you.
To register, call 0802 303 2066 0706 160 6078 or visit www.schoolofeloquence.org. School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is Journey to the Top, right here on the Achievement Channel. And we've been having a very inspiring and I would dare say as well, life-transforming conversation with no less a person than Mazi Sam Ohabwa. He's talked about strategy, he's even mentioned the principle of the objective, he's mentioned creating a team, he's mentioned determination, loss of fear in the face of danger, the energy, the resilience, the determination to move on towards the achievement of one's goals, as learned during his time serving in the military. And we want to continue that conversation. Mazi,
yeah,
I remember my conversation with you in 2001.
Yeah.
Then you were MD of NIMET.
Yeah.
And I was very curious to know how you rose to become the chief executive.
Yeah.
That was one mountain that you conquered.
Yes.
Because your journey to the top has many sides to it. The corporate side is one.
Yeah.
The social enterprise is another. And of course, the ministry side is another, and then of course the national side as well. Yeah. So you have continued to conquer peak after peak after peak.
Hallelujah.
And so there is a lot we can learn from you. Yeah. During that interview, I can still remember the younger version of myself.
Yeah.
Trying to understand how a salesperson became CEO of Nemeth.
Yeah.
And I remember you said something that never left me.
Okay.
I use that a lot in the program called The Challenge to Perform that I teach to companies when they ask me to come and inspire performance.
Yeah.
You said, whenever my superiors asked me to deliver 10, I always made sure I delivered 15.
Or 20.
Or 20.
Yeah.
I just could not trust their tendencies to discount my performance. Because if they ask me to deliver 10 and I deliver 10, only for the guy to say, after all, that territory you went to, I was the one that gave you the contact.
Yes.
And then they bring me down to 7, I would have accomplished nothing.
I say you will beat their targets.
Absolutely. And I found that so instructive. I didn't know it's a principle that has helped me. In fact, in my training sessions, I refer to it as the detractors discount. Yes, because in life you will have those who have detractors.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about that. How did you come about that philosophy?
Yeah.
And how did it step by step help you to the top at Nemeth?
Thank you. It is the strategy of being conscious of challenges you are about to face. You have to survey your environment, what they call environmental analysis. And it started early with me. Again, maybe it's also the war training, because you have to survey your environment, know who you're, measure the strength. The SWOT analysis we'll talk about today. In the military is the first thing, because you don't enter into a war blindly. They'll kill you. You must know who you're fighting, his competencies, the size of his ammunition, size of his army, and then you devise how to use small army to defeat a big army. That's a full story. But it helped me when I joined Pfizer. First is that I had a vision. That was a major issue. 5 years, I quit. So when I was walking around doing things like this Armor Against Faith, that's helped me. It was part of the understanding of my environment, how to conquer that environment. I came to a place I knew there was plenty of hostility. Just after the war, all manner of things were still going around, biases. So I said, no, nobody's going to sabotage my work or underestimate my performance. So in order to do so, I will exceed your expectation. And because when I exceed your expectation, you have no choice but to accept. And that's what I did. It helped me so very much. It was we call it magic wand. Because when my guys are struggling to achieve one, because it's sometimes about the same, it's about the same effort, but your focus. Achieving one, me, I'm achieving 1.5, 1.6, 1.8. Consistently, they're wondering how I'm doing it. Because the moment you give me 1, I cancel it and put 2. So I don't ever think about 1. I'm thinking about 2. Because where your thoughts are, that's where you're going. Where you're looking at, where you're going to go to. And that's the exemplification. So that helped me to achieve this 5-year vision of knowing everything about Pfizer so that I can go start my business. But in the process of knowing everything about Pfizer, I got promoted so rapidly that I got to a point it was difficult for me to exit. And I changed strategy. And I said, okay, I'm going to stay. I told my uncle, look, forget it. I'm no longer coming to do business. He was disappointed, but he understood. And I said, now I want to aspire to be the chairman and CEO of the company.
So there's nothing wrong in being so aspirational.
No, I was aspirational. The picture I took with my chairman at 5-year-old
salesman,
when he was giving me my 5-year long service award, where he encouraged me because he said, Sam, have you been only 5 years here? I said, yeah. He said, your impact is as if you've been here 10 years. My son, you're doing well, keep it up. The sky is your limit. That's motivational talk fired me. I said no. I can't, after this motivation, the next week I said I'm resigning, because that was my plan. This was December. My plan was to resign in January, 84. So I took the picture, put behind my desk in the office. And then I walked in the morning, I looked at that picture and said, God, someday I'm going to be like this guy. 10 years from then, I became the chairman and CEO. So it's like magic, but it works, because I had envisioned what I wanted to be, and I was ready to pay the price. It's not just daydreaming. Everything I did was directed to reaching that goal. And luckily, since I was in a business where they measure outcomes, they measure results, so it was between me and myself and the results. And so it was easy.
This is Journey to the Top with me, Mr. Motivator. Only on the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first all-motivational TV platform, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence in Lagos. Your journey starts now.
Welcome back. It's still Journey to the Top, and this is becoming more of a master class with a man who is a master himself, a man I cherish so much as a mentor, who's mentored me, helped me to where I am today. I'm talking about no less a person than Mazi Sab Ohabua. Mazi, we've just been continuing and continuing. I think a day will come when we'll just have it for an entire day, and we'll live stream.
Yeah, that's
just
fine.
A master class, just modules upon modules upon modules.
Yeah, sure.
So let's, because I've been told by my producer that this has got to be the last segment, but I would not want you to leave without talking about that very major setback that Nimet had. Were you expecting it? What really happened? And that was a season of major losses.
Yeah, it was. There were two major issues I'll just quite touch about. One is this fire, which was in the nobody ever prepares for fire. But we found that it happened, and we lost equipment, we lost materials. It almost crippled the company. And what was more, we didn't have adequate insurance. Fire is not what you have seen one day. So when we made insurance, maybe we insured for 300 million naira. The value of the asset now is 2 billion, but we did not adjust. So it was terrible. But again, the major issue is that once you have a strong faith, I'm not trying to be religious, but if you have a strong faith and capacity, there's nothing you can't turn around. Because I remember one story during the war, when the war ended. Some people were rich men in Port Harcourt in those days. Suddenly started having money again. I asked my father, I say, how come we're hearing about these people again, about again and another? My father said, the point is that these guys know the routes that money passes. So they know how to lay traps. So that method they used before the war, they have applied it again, and they are laying traps and the money is coming in. So if we were able to get to where we got before the fire came, all we did is to adjust and do again what we did, because we have known the pattern to get back. We talked to the insurers, they were able to pay the bid well. We talked to the banks, we talked to our creditors, we talked to our suppliers, they offered us more credit, it gave us more, some bankers gave us some bit of forgiveness, or, forbearance. We elicited support. Because people are willing to help you, but you need to ask for the help. I keep saying that some people die in their mistakes. They don't even want to say, I'm sorry. No, I've missed it. They are too proud. So pride is something that destroys your ability to recover. We came down, admitted our mistakes, admitted our faults, and when people were willing to listen to us, and so we harnessed and harvested that goodwill. First from the goodwill we have long established, and then the promise of a better tomorrow. And that was a big...
So from the ashes...
Yeah, we rose again. Yeah, the other point I want to mention is the other problem we faced, and I forgot it. If you remember, there was this popular Kano issue of the Trovan study. There was a study we did of a new product in our final closing years as Pfizer, 1995, 96, which eventually turned, when people now say the drug killed people, and they badmouthed Pfizer, went to court, went to all those places. But we're able to,
legacy issues that you have to do.
we're able to overcome that, because the truth of the matter is that first is we told the truth, we had the documentation, and we're able to present, even from the Kano government that took us to court, and the federal government, we're able to show that it was corruption being turned upside down, because some people wanted to corrupt us, because they gave us some leeway, some approval, but those approvals are not documented. So when they asked for money we couldn't give them, they went back and said we're doing certain things without approval. But we were able to produce the documents. Even the DNA, when they say there was many people were killed. This was a trial we did with 200 people, 100 on Trovan, 100 on Rocephin, which was the comparative. And out of this, only 13 people died. 6 from the Trovan and 7 from the Rocephin, which was already established drug. And then we gave when they were saying thousands, there was no way it was thousands. We produced DNA. In fact, even when Pfizer provided some ritual, when you haven't done it in the appeal court, the Supreme Court will bring you out. That's a lesson there, and I want people to bring you out. That's a lesson there, and I want people to learn. Be deliberate in what you're doing and put the proper documentation. You never know when it will arrive. Documentation. You never know when it will arrive. I use it in Shopee. When the federal arrived, I use it in Shopee. When the federal government was saying, after Buhari came, who were saying we've lost, Shopee money was lost. And they invited us to the National Assembly. I brought the documents, which I had put in a book. When they saw the book, they said go, and that was the end. Then, of course, you were asking about the kind of things we were doing subsequently. I moved on pro-retirement into Sophie, which was a way of giving back, and my pet area of entrepreneurship. Because I've always believed that is what is going to bring salvation for the young people in this country, and also for the nation. As many more people that can be self-employed, creating wealth, then the country becomes a good place to live in. I mean, look at what you're doing. Look at the people you're employing, and you started early in life to become an entrepreneur. I don't even if you worked for anybody at all,
I worked 3 years ago.
So that's the way it is. And so it's my pet. It's still growing up. But when I now formed the New Nigeria Group, which was my political organization, that I didn't put too much focus on. I'm returning to it now. That took my time, because I had always been disturbed about our country and its chronic underdevelopment, its lack of competitiveness. I had become tired of being told that I come from a third world. Since I was born 70-something years ago, I'm still a third world nation. I'm saying, when I'm going to become first world? Especially when other countries have become self-world. That first world, that one led me to the New Nigeria Group, and then eventually became the platform for me to try my hands in the presidential primaries of 2022-2023. It was a great lesson in understanding Nigerian politics. But it's the same courage that I have come with. I mean, people were surprised. I hadn't been governor, I had been the senator, I hadn't been nothing. The first political attempt was to be a president. I mean, it was, you must be a joker, but we went through it. We went around the country. So first you must have what you believe in, and then you must have the courage and the conviction. And it's goodwill. I have not, you have worked at least for government 3 years. The other time you were working for Nemasa, so you have a bit of experience. Yes. I have never worked for government, but I've been close to the public sector. I've held, I've been a board chairman of teaching hospitals, of polytechnics.
And then the shop here.
I've served, even before the shop here, I've been in the National Health Insurance National Manpower Board. I've served in several boards of the government, so I'm familiar. Then, of course, the ESG interaction, the public-private sector interaction, also gave me an opening to really understand and know what the issues are in the country. So I'm still committed to doing what I can to help our country become a better country, because we have no other country. Right. But I'm doing so from where I stand, because I believe that I may not be president, I may not be governor, but where I stand, I am the governor. Right. I am the president, starting from my house to the concentric circles where I influence. So I try to model that Nigeria of our dream. And that is why I spend a lot of time with young people who I believe will continue the battle. You talked about succession. I'm a man with always a view that we're going to be here just for a while. So what are you taking away and what are you leaving behind? And one of the greatest things I have said, and I keep saying, the greatest legacy is not in buildings. The greatest legacy is in human beings. What you have said about me today, I don't know how much I'm going to pay to a publicist to say that, or to give this unsolicited. And that is what life is all about. If I was dead today and you were at my graveyard or a tribute, what you say today will be what you say, perhaps with more embellishment. Absolutely. For me, that is legacy now. So I'm investing my time and energy, making sure I'm impacting lives, impacting institutions, and helping this nation to become a better place. No one man can solve all the problem. No one man can change the situation, but make sure you're making a contribution. And that's why I think I want to encourage you and people like you, never underestimate your contribution, but you must build a foundation. You should not come to this world and act as if you were a passenger or an observer. You must come into this world determined to fulfill your destiny. You have a destiny. You have a purpose. But it's in you to plan how that destiny, how that purpose will be fulfilled. You have to be intentional. You have to be methodical and trusting, and then learn from other people. It helps you to reach that goal and be what God has made you to be.
Wow, Mazi, what a finale. Because I was going to ask you a question. What was you have for those who are seeing you at the top and want to also continue their journey? Yeah. But clearly, you should be a broadcaster. You're a broadcaster. I guess that journalistic bit of you suddenly came to fore.
Yeah.
I cannot thank you enough, Uncle Sam.
A new day dawns, full of possibilities. Take the first step towards your dreams. Empower your mind with positive thoughts. Achieve more. Make a difference in someone's life today.
What an extraordinary start to the journey to the top. Broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio here in Lagos on the Achievement Channel. This episode has set the stage for what promises to be a year of limitless possibilities. Mazi Sam Ohabo's story reminds us that the very best way to predict the future is actually to create it. So as we step boldly into 2025, let this be the year that you take control of your destiny and climb even higher than you ever thought possible. Here is one last thought to carry with you. Every new year offers you 365 blank pages. Write a story worth reading, because the top is reserved. Go back a little bit. Let me ask it. Okay, that's fine. Here's one last thought to carry with you. Every new year offers you 365 blank pages. So write a story worth reading. The top is not reserved for the lucky. It's for those who work, who persevere, and never stop believing in themselves. Thank you for joining us on this inaugural journey. I am Mr. Motivator, and it has been an honor to share this moment with you. Until next time, stay inspired, stay motivated, and remember, the climb is always worth it. Here is to a transformative 2025. Happy New Year once again.
A new day dawns, full of possibilities. Take the first step towards your dreams. Empower your mind with positive thoughts. Achieve more. Make a difference in someone's life today. Impossibility is nothing.
In a world full of speakers, there's only one certified speaking professional in West Africa. Meet Abong Essien, the globally certified coach helping Nigeria's leaders, professionals, and executives speak with power and lead with eloquence. He's trained thousands, built confidence, delivered transformation for over 25 years. At the NSA convention in the US, success legend Brian Tracy said, Abong is one of the very best speakers in the world. Now you can learn directly from the best.
Hello, my name is Brian Tracy, and I just want to talk about my friend Ubong, one of the very best speakers in the world today.
The only CSP, the gold standard, one-on-one coaching, elite masterclasses, corporate clinics. This is the voice advantage. Abong Essien, helping you speak with power and purpose. Abong Essien, CSP, West Africa's only certified speaking professional. For contact info, visit us at www.schoolofeloquence.org, address 36B, Royal Palm Drive, Osborne Foreshore Phase 2, Ikoyi, Lagos. Contact 706-160-6078. Abong Essien, West Africa's only certified speaking professional.
Imagine a world transformed by the power of giving, where every act of kindness sparks another. These are the champions who dedicate their lives to change. Together, they are paying it forward. Champions of change.
Paying it forward.
Join us and be part of the movement. Here on the Achievement Channel.
Hello and welcome to Champions of Change on the Achievement Channel, your home for inspirational stories that spark impact and transformation. We are broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio here in Ikoyi, Lagos. I'm your host, Pamela Igbo, and on this program, we shine a light on individuals who are creating powerful change through nonprofit work and social impact. People who are not just chasing success, but significance. Today, we are joined by a powerhouse of vision and compassion, Dr. Christiana Ime Amida, Executive Director at Lekki Gardens Estate and the dynamic founder of Foundation de Christi, a nonprofit organization committed to health and hygiene of women and girls. With over 17 years of experience in real estate and a dream to touch 10 million lives, she's truly a champion of change. Let's dive into her inspiring journey.
Champions of change.
Paying it forward.
Join us and be part of the movement. Here on the Achievement Channel.
Welcome, Christy, to Champions of Change. It's great to have you here.
Thanks a lot for having me, Pam. It's a pleasure to be here myself.
Fantastic. So I'm really inspired by you. You are the Executive Director for Lekki Gardens Limited. So you're into real estate.
That's correct.
But I know that your real passion is your foundation, which is Foundation de Christi. Did I say it well?
Absolutely. well done.
It is a foundation that focuses on women and girls' hygiene and well-being.
Correct.
So what I want to know is, why did you start it? What inspired you to start it, and why that particular area?
Thanks, Pam, for the question. Thank you for having me once again. So for me, starting Foundation de Christi was basically from a personal experience. Growing up as a younger woman, I had experienced several challenges in terms of menstrual pain, heavy bleeding. In fact, I missed school. On several days, I had to hide away in the laboratory, just to avoid classes. And aside that, my experience as a teacher during my youth service days, I served in Benue, Obi local government to be precise. And I had about 200 students under my belt. I was supposed to train them, give them, of course, great education. But over time, I started building relationships with them, and I noticed that girls were missing classes. I had about 85 girls in my classes. I had 4 classes, to be precise. And I would notice that per month, say 7 girls would be away from class, missing important topics. I saw firsthand how it impacted their that's continuous assessment. Aside that, I remember also being part of Women Fellowship, and sometimes you hear a sister is not in church because she's, not feeling too well, and everybody will pray for her. So prayer became the method to solving menstrual hygiene problems. So I saw so much, and for somebody like me, I was not able to just stand there and sympathize. I had to do something. I had to act, to make a difference. So that was what spurred me. And so, to be specific, sometime in 2020, COVID year, that was when I launched. It was my birthday, April 2020, and I was wondering what I'd do differently. And somehow it dropped again, like a divine inspiration, right. I must say, like, it's time for you to, keep your word. Because I had said earlier as a younger girl that if I can go through this, then I would make sure I help other women to go through it, less pain, understand their bodies, become more aware of their menstrual hygiene, health, and wellness. So
amazing how you started this from a personal experience. So what I want to know now is, it is a real issue. A lot of young girls having, pain during their menstrual periods, and like you said, how it affects their livelihood, how it affects their education. It's a real thing. So what kind of programs do you do or outreach do you do to help solve this problem?
Oh, great. For us at Foundation de Christi, we know that education is a preparation tool. Training the girls, teaching girls about their bodies, telling them what to expect during the period, what ovulation is about. It's egg release from your ovaries. That's what it is. And you should have certain, maybe mood swings for some people, headaches for some people, what to expect during this period. So we go the extra mile to train, because that's the most important thing. And after the training, the coaching, we go on to distribute hygienic products, because we know also that if they don't get this good products, these hygienic products, if they go back to using materials that are not good, hygienic enough, they can end up suffering from various forms of infection that can affect their reproductive health in the long run. So these are the basics that we do.
And how do you do that distribution? Is it through schools? Is it through communities?
Yeah, sometimes we do it through schools, sometimes we do it through community heads, sometimes we do it on our own. We go out there, even to marketplaces where we find more women and girls. We also go out there, talk to them while they are selling their goods, because of course they want to focus on their business. So, but we just take a bit of their time, talk to them, and then go ahead to give them the products. Yeah.
And how many lives have you
over 10,000 as of today, over 10,000 and counting. We've distributed over 120,000 sanitary pads as of today and counting.
Fantastic. That's amazing. So the next question I want to ask is, obviously, what have some of the challenges been running a not-for-profit that you have found, particularly in the Nigerian context?
Oh, wow, there are quite a number. I mean, starting with resource availability. At the end of the day, you can only do as much as you can. I remember one of our outreach programs where we went to Cross River State, Calabar, and we started sharing. The queue started from
I can imagine.
From the front of the market all the way to the roundabout. We had over 1,000 girls on that queue, you know, waiting in line to get products. And I looked at them, I saw the gratitude in their eyes, I saw how much they needed it. I realized that sharing 2,000, sharing 5,000, sharing 10,000 might not really cut it. There's more to be done. So going out there to engage, create partnerships for funding is one of the things that we're doing to solve that problem. Also, there are sentiments and also restrictions when you get to communities. Some elders want to understand what you're trying to do, hope you're not coming to tell their wives not to treat them well, or, you know, there's so many sentiments and would I call it misunderstandings that come true when we go out there. So those kinds of misunderstandings also, you know, it puts us in a place where we try to break in. But like I said, creating partnerships again with the leaders of the community, engaging them ahead of any engagement and distribution has helped us. We continue to innovate too. So aside going into communities, we also send out materials online so that it gets to the girl wherever they are, in as much as they have a mobile phone to look at.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So can you share with me some transformational journey with any of your beneficiaries? What are you one of the things you're most proud of? You can share as much as you want.
Okay, I like it when I joined the team to do the distributions and talk to the girls. It's so lifting, I must say that. And I remember in during one of our outreach programs, I met a girl at home, Sade, her name. I asked her why she was not in school, and she was brave enough, because that's the word, to tell me she missed school because she's on her period, she's in pain, but more importantly, she does not have pads, you know, to you know, to put herself in that comfortable position to be in class like every other person. And then I took a good look at Sade and said, what can we do for Sade? If Sade is serious, if she's a serious student, then let's see how we can give her pad for 3 months ahead. Let her have the pads. You know, we put her on the program, gave her pads for 3 months, and Sade stayed in school all through 3 months. Sade is doing so well. Back to school, regular in classes, and that gives me joy. Yeah,
that's awesome. What do you think? I'm curious to know, Christy. What do you think is the long-term solution to helping people who can't afford to have those hygienic products, to have them in homes? I mean, how can we, as you know, the government or community, do more? Because you know, you're one person, and I'm sure there are many other people doing stuff to help, but this is a country of, you know, over 250 million people.
Correct.
With at least half of them being girls, women. What is the long-term solution to, you know, to helping that situation, you think?
Okay, for starters, at Foundation de Christi, like I said, distributing products is one part of it. Creating awareness is another part of it. Educating the girls is so important. That cannot be left to chance. But getting in other collaborators is also too important not to be left to chance. So thinking long term, I see Foundation de Christi initiating bills to the National Assembly.
Right.
Getting their attention to make them understand and realize that the girls need to be supported. You know, you go to bathrooms abroad and you see sanitary pads already in place, like tissue. It's also one of the things you find in the bathroom. So restaurants and public places should make products available. It should not be for sale at those points. And aside that, you know, for companies that are also into production, partnering with foundations can also help them reach out to girls that cannot afford the product. Those are ways that I think in the long run can help the girls get the product.
Exactly. So people being really intentional about putting it as part of their CSR initiative to know that this is an issue and can provide for girls who cannot afford to buy sanitary towels. I mean, for me, it's even mind-boggling thinking about that. In 2025, there are still people who cannot afford
Yeah, there's so many of them, but when we go out, we get to see a lot. I mean, so much, so many girls in pain. Some people can afford, their daily meal. They cannot not talk of affording pads.
Pads, sure.
You know, it's a luxury item, if I must say.
Sure, and it not only affects, I would say, their education, it affects them their own confidence.
Yes, it affects their confidence. Yes, that's one of the things we care so much about, because it's not just about distributing products, like I always say. It's about training them, it's about storytelling, it's about sisterhood. You want them to have a place where they feel protected, where they feel like they can share, they can talk about themselves, in that space of, with a sense of safety. Yes, that's the word. So at Foundation de Christi, we are so passionate in making sure that they have the right environment to express themselves. Yes, because it's about their dignity, it's about their confidence, so they can go out there and enjoy their life to the fullest. Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you. We'll take a quick break and come back and continue this amazing conversation with Christine.
My name is Mrs. Imelda Hunosuji. You can call me Madam Modesty. Follow Achievement Channel, listen to Achievement Channel. They're an amazing set of persons doing amazing work in the media space. So I want to encourage you to follow them, get value from them. Please keep watching Achievement Channel.
Keep watching Achievement Channel. It's a motivation channel. I recommend it.
Do you feel terrified when speaking before a group? Are you stressed when asked to present? Do you bore people when speaking? Are you stuck with reading word for word? How do you give a speech with polish? Learn how at the School of Eloquence,
the home of public speaking. Attend our practical coaching in public speaking. Call 0802 303 2066 or log on to schoolofeloquence.org.
School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
Champions of Change. Paying it forward. Join us and be part of the movement. Here on the Achievement Channel.
Welcome back to Champions of Change. I've been talking to Christine today about her wonderful work that she does with her foundation, Foundation de Christi, helping young girls who do not have access to sanitary hygiene and well-being and get there and build their confidence in that way. So Christine, thank you so much for all the work that you're doing. What I wanted to ask you is, obviously you're into real estate. You have a real estate management company, and you also spearhead your foundation. So as a woman wearing multiple hats, how do you balance that?
Oh, Pam, thank you. Well, for me, I don't think it's about balancing. I think it's about alignment. I have learned over the years to align my purpose across various spheres. And I have a solid team behind me. They understand the mission. They believe also in the mission. So over the years, we have learned to delegate correctly. We have learned to delegate with clarity and strategically. I think the work we're doing as a team is making me succeed, not just on my own. Working via a structure, working via systems is making me succeed. So it's not just about balancing. In fact, it's no longer about balancing for me. It's about alignment. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. And do you find that your work in the real estate has given you a breadth of experience that has lended itself into the foundation work?
Oh yes, to a very, very large extent. It has prepared me to a very large extent because I understand how to engage people. I understand how to relate. I understand how to run systems. I understand how to operate a business. So a foundation is a business at the end of the day. You know, you want to come in with your full self into the room. You don't want to leave anything to chance. The ideas, the concepts that will make you win. That has made me grounded.
Yeah, and obviously the whole idea of the foundation is to reach so many people. So your remit is to reach 10 million girls,
That's
which is
correct.
a lofty ambition, but it can definitely be done.
Yes, it's achievable. One step at a time. Rome was not built in a day.
Absolutely.
So we have started and the journey continues. So I see us doing it with the systems we're putting in place, with the structures we're putting in place, with the partnerships that we are creating across communities, you know, talking to supporters across the globe. Just a a few days ago was World Menstrual Hygiene Day. That's May 28th. We participated. We were recognized as official partners with the menstrual hygiene body connected to the UN. So we were recognized, and we went ahead to educate girls on that day, distribute material. So with the partnerships that we are building, we think we can do this.
Fantastic. And how do you think in this current age technology can help you drive that?
Oh, a lot. You know, starting with having a website. It's as simple as people knowing who to talk to when it matters. Other people might just go onto the streets, you know, to distribute pads. But do they really have a vision? Do they really have a purpose, you know, as far as menstrual hygiene is concerned? So one of the things technology is helping us do is reach more people that want to support the cause. That's one of the things technology is helping us to do. It's also helping us to create surveys or conduct surveys that enables us rather to know where to go first, you know, who to talk to, who to relate with in terms of engaging communities, you know. So there's a lot technology is doing for us. It's helping us to keep our accounts correctly, measure our progress digitally. So there's just so much that technology is helping us achieve.
That's great. That's great. So just in terms of community outreach, what are some of the volunteering opportunities that you have with your foundation? Can anyone come and volunteer, and what are some of the needs, volunteering needs?
Oh yes, we need hands. There is work to do. We need hands. We need support. Whether medical specialists, whether volunteers that want to help us on the street in sharing, or training, or funding, you know, the cost. We need that support. We need volunteers to join us in those areas to get the work done.
And if you can tell our viewers how we can reach you to offer volunteering, our volunteering services.
Thank you, Pam. So you can reach us on foundationdechristie.org. Once you log onto our website, you start communicating with us. There's a live WhatsApp chat platform. You can also leave us a message, and you see options, whether you want to volunteer on the field, you want to come in to teach, you want to come in to help with health work, really, because there are some women that are struggling with fibroid, and we have doctor partnerships. Yes, for uterine fibroid embolization. In fact, one of our board members is a medical doctor and is ready to help in terms of advice, in terms of referrals, to make sure one gets the best medical help. So we need volunteers in the medical space. We need volunteers in distributing products. We need volunteers in training the girls. We're opening our confidence club at the schools. We want more people to teach the girls how to take care of themselves, because they need this education and awareness.
Fantastic. I'd love to volunteer if you have me.
Please.
Thank you. All right. Finally, last but not the least, I'd like you to just look at the camera and talk to women who would like to start something. You know, a lot of women want to have an impact, but don't know how to go about it, or may not have confidence. What has helped you, and what would you say to a woman out there who's thinking, have an idea, but is not confident enough to start?
I would say start small, but start anyway. It's about purpose, like I'll keep saying. It's about making impact. And what I know is that impact, it comes from a place of sincerity. That's the truth. So if you have a sincere purpose, please start. If you need to start in your living room, start. When Foundation Decristie started in 2020, like I said, it was COVID year. So I started in my sitting room, started with my sisters, started with my neighbors, and I distributed about 50 sanitary pads, and I spoke to them as well, telling them about their menstrual hygiene, telling them about their menstrual health, telling them why they have some mood swings that I see, you know, and they were looking at me like, what exactly? But I gained their attention, and I built from that place. So start small, and as you continue on the journey, find people that can support you, with like-minded people. Find them, let them support you. Also, always remember why you're doing it. If you maintain a sense of purpose, as in why you're doing this, then you continue to have the fuel, the drive, the energy to go on. Thank you.
Thank you. That's great. So thank you so much, Christine, for today and for the wonderful work you're doing. I wish your foundation all the best.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Dr. Christiana Amida is living proof that you can build industries and still build people. From real estate to grassroots outreach, A passion is a blueprint for anyone who wants to succeed with purpose. Thank you, Dr. Christina. And to you watching at home, remember, you too can be a champion of change. Start small, dream big, and never stop believing in the difference one life can make. Let's continue this important dialogue. Follow us on all our handles at Achievement Channel on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for more inspiring content and updates. Use the hashtag #WeSeePossibilities and share your thoughts with us. I'm Pamela Egbo. See you next time. Thank you for watching.
Champions of Change.
Paying it forward.
Join us and be part of the movement. Here on the Achievement Channel.
My name is Sarah Undu. I am an educational psychologist for children and adolescents. My expectation, I expect that at the end of this masterclass, I would overcome fear and anxiety during public speaking, master the art of public speaking, and have a good structure and organized speech.
My name is Mrs. Amadiegu Uzoma. I'm into business. My expectations in this masterclass, I really want to overcome stage fright and how to speak in public and also communication skills.
My name is Folake Faturuti. I'm a geoscientist by profession. My expectation in this course is for me to know how to speak better, to be more equipped in the way I speak in public, and to speak eloquently.
Hi, my name is Sarah Undu. I am an educational psychologist. I came to the School of Eloquence because I wanted to improve in my public speaking and have a better way to construct and structure my speaking, because I have a YouTube video where I teach on educational psychology and mental health of children and adolescents. So I came here for the two-day program, the two-day masterclass on public speaking, the basics of public speaking, and I would say that I have learned quite a lot of things. One of the things that I would do, I would take as a, as a thing that actually spoke properly and spoke well to me, is knowing how to differentiate between the content and putting up your things there. So for instance, now the content, I cannot just put up my content like that. There's a structure that I have to follow in order to, present whatever I am putting properly out there. So I would say that as of yesterday into today, there's been a big difference. I now know how to structure my scripts and know how to, put it out better. And I would say a big thank you to Mr. Ubong Essien for his, ability to teach well, and we were able to understand every single thing that he taught, even with examples. And he's a very good, teacher and a good public speaker, a specialist in his field. So thank you so much, School of Eloquence. I'm really grateful, and I would, with every opportunity I can have to come back next time, I would. Thank you so much. Speak with power.
My name is Amadiegu Uzoma Irene. I'm a businesswoman. I'm so happy, I'm so excited that I went through the School of Eloquence. My thanks go to the Dean of the school, Mr. Ubong, for he has imparted so much in me. Before I came here, I used to be nervous while speaking in the public, but Dean has made it known to me that nervousness is natural, is a normal thing which can be dealt with. So now I'm confident in speaking, I'm more confident in speaking. I can speak in the public confidently and eloquently. The first day I came, through the series of teachings that were given to us, I performed, but I didn't perform very well compared to the teachings of the second day, where I performed very, very well. And now I can speak with confidence, without fear. Now, to the people who are afraid of public speaking, School of Eloquence is a place for you, where the Dean of the school will teach you how to speak with power and confidence, without nervousness. Speak with power.
My name is Folake Faturuti. I'm a geoscientist by profession. I came here to improve my communication skills, how to speak in public, and how to put my tenses together. When I came here, I didn't really understand the structure of a speech, of how to put a speech together. But with this training, I learned how to structure my content and also how to deliver my speech using my voice, my facial expression, and my body with my hands. What motivated me to come to School of Eloquence was because I knew I couldn't really express myself appropriately, and I knew I needed to know how to be able to talk and put my thoughts together in a way that it can make a meaningful sense to my audience. That's one of the reasons why I came for this program. As a professional, the importance of this skill is that it will make me a better professional. I'll be able to express myself, and I'll be confident to talk in public, to air my voice. Because my profession, you have to talk. If you don't talk, you might not be able to rise to the level that you ought to be. And I want to add that to my profession for me to be able to be promoted, for my voice to be heard. I know the overall experience was wine. It was a good one because when I first came, I couldn't really express myself with my facials and my voice, the pitch of my voice. But now I've learned that, and also I've learned how to put the content of my message together. Public speaking shouldn't be something one should take lightly because it's a lifetime skill. It's a lifetime profession with a good dividend. Leadership roles, personal fulfillment. Those are one of the key things that you take out of this. Speak with power.
Welcome to Achievement on the Achievement Channel. Nigeria's first and only 100% motivational TV station, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio right here in Ikoyi, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm your host, Victor Diali. Call me Victorious Victor. And this is a show dedicated to purpose, discipline, and the journey of becoming a better man. In an era of economic volatility, a man's ability to remain strategically grounded in his resources is a true test of leadership. Today, we're discussing financial fortitude in uncertain times, economic resilience. Joining me to share their wealth of experience are two distinguished leaders. Mr. Richard Ayo, an IT and telecommunications expert with 25 years of experience in ICT infrastructure, an alumnus of the Nehemiah Institute of Leadership, and he leads the Richard Group spanning technology and the Richard Collection fashion brand. Joining him is Mr. Wosu Ojo, an executive director at Geomarine Systems with a vast professional background across banking, journalism, and regional sales management. So welcome, gentlemen, to the studio. It's really exciting to have you, Mr. Ojo. You're a returning guest.
Yeah.
You know, it's always good to have you. And Mr. Richard, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Today we want to talk about something very important, especially looking at the context of Nigeria today, and in fact Africa. You will agree with me that people are facing a lot of financial challenges.
Yeah.
For many people, it's difficult to put food on the table.
Yes.
And because of our environment, you know, most families rely on the man, the husband, the father, to provide for the entire family. So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Ojo. When the economy is volatile, what should a man do to protect his family finances?
When a man finds himself in that kind of situation, the
Yes.
first thing he should do is reevaluate.
Okay.
What was my income before?
Okay.
What has it dropped to?
Okay.
When he does that, he will now begin to juggle resources.
Yes.
Say, this has to go.
Yes.
This has to go. There has to be a lot of financial discipline in it. You know, if you are used to buying ice cream for children all the time, you cut part of it. If you are used to going on vacation, you cut some vacation.
Yeah.
If you are used to all these kind of frivolities, you cut it. See, that's financial discipline.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what takes you through that thing is still that discipline. One, assuming you have some savings.
Yeah. That's assuming.
Yes, assuming
because most people don't have savings.
You know, but you must have. You can't eat all. You can't eat all you have.
I don't know what the statistics would be, but in Nigeria, you know, what's the percentage of Nigerians who actually save?
Yes. You see, but the dictum is save at least 10% of your income.
Yes.
This will come in for you during this bad weather. You know, that's going through that and this thing.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And for this 10% you mentioned, I've heard it so many times.
Yes.
In fact, I've heard it.
It could be higher.
I've heard it for years when people talk about saving 10% of your income.
Yes, yes.
But I think it came from a book that a lot of us read while we were growing up, titled The Richest Man in Babylon.
Yes.
By George Clason or so, where there's a tale about a man called Akkad or so, who, you know, talked about the whole idea of saving 10%. And in fact, in the book, it says you should pay yourself first, meaning before you even take out anything from your income. You should take out 10% of your income, put it somewhere that is your own payment. At least you are working for the money, so you should pay yourself first. So keep that aside, and then you have 90% to do anything else you need to do, you know. But the challenge is you are assuming that people have income, enough income to put something aside.
So I'll come to you, Richard. In the Nigeria that we know, most people work daily to earn their pay and hardly have enough. I mean, if you look at the salaries that civil servants are paid, salaries that policemen are paid, salaries that soldiers are paid, you know, people who even have to put their lives on the line virtually every day, they are not paid enough, right? And we still expect people who can't earn enough. Some people, by the time they take out their transportation costs to go to work, right, they're in deficit already. So sometimes I wonder, how do people survive, right? So when someone doesn't even have enough for the family, and then there's financial crunch, the economy is volatile, how does the person now apply the kind of discipline that Mr. Joe is talking about?
Okay, thank you very much. I will probably make reference to the COVID time.
COVID times,
yes. The experience I had then.
Yes.
And on my own survey about the Nigerians, as you say, most Nigerians earn on daily basis.
Correct.
And anybody that had that experience in COVID time would have learned a lesson.
Yes.
A lesson, this topic involved planning, developing, budgeting. Now, there's something I always tell anybody I come across in such situations. You create what is called emergency funds.
Emergency funds.
Those emergency funds, you discipline, just as Mr. Charles said.
Yes.
You discipline yourself, you increase your hustling. Sorry to use that word.
Yeah.
That is, the hustling means you have to create other channels of any income. You know you are the head of the house.
Yeah.
Everybody look up to you. Everybody will ask things for you. You create an emergency fund. You insure it. People may think insurance is just big. No. Whether you're running your own company, you're working for individual, whatever you earn, after you create that emergency fund, you insure it.
Yeah.
You can insure it up for your children education, for your feedings. There's a way you do it. You do stretch budgeting. You can do, like I learned from one of my boss when I was working for somebody. He was a very rich billionaire. But I always look at what this man does. He budget things for 6 months. Wow. And they will stock it in the house. So one day, I got to know, I have to challenge him. He's always relaxed. No pressure, nothing. So I have to approach him. Sir, let me learn from you. I'm just coming up. That you always relax. I know you are rich, but there is nothing bother you. He said one of the secret he does that during volatile times, he has already budgeted ahead.
Wow.
So when those things comes, it will not cut him unaware.
Yeah.
The family will not just come, food has finished. Yeah. Okay, there are times in business that down times, there are times he make surplus.
Yeah, of course.
So he has to plan towards, so when he's in those down times, he can able to manage it. So as a head of the family, emergency fund is very important.
Okay.
Insurance is very important.
Yeah.
Those are the key things that will make you to, you know, you may look at, no matter how small the fund is,
yes.
If you decide to save 1,000 every day, and we're going to experience this volatile thing in December, you'll be assured.
That can put some food on the table.
Yes.
Exactly, yes.
You can even take that will be 360K.
Yeah.
You can take that to go and buy something for the family for even the next 6 months.
In fact, that's a very good idea that I hope that someone who is watching us today will learn from.
Yeah.
Save 1,000 naira every day,
yes.
right? By the end of the year, you have 360,000 naira. Which brings me to my next question.
Okay.
Should people focus on just panic saving, what I call panic saving, saving just because something happened, then I quickly start looking for money to put aside? Or should we follow this strategic approach to not just savings, but to investments? Because we have to also look at what is the difference between savings and investment.
Yeah.
Is savings enough? So after I've saved 360,000 naira or 120,000 naira by the middle of the year, should I just keep that in a savings account, or should I do something else that will help multiply the money? Because, I mean, there are money multipliers. And I'm not talking of MMM or any of all these other all these other phony strategies.
Those are part of panic.
That's part of panic saving. You know, but our people are so gullible that In spite of all the crash and everything, people are still investing in those kind of short-term panic instruments where you don't even know who is behind it, and suddenly the money just develops wings and flies away, and then somebody commits suicide, or So, how do you navigate between panic savings and strategic investment decision making?
For just like we just mentioned now, panic savings, like all these Ponzi schemes.
Yes.
All this emergency. If you put in 10 naira, you make 1 million naira.
Yes.
And those are panic investments to savings.
Yeah.
But if you are long-term strategic,
yes,
there are a lot of things that you can invest in. There are treasury bills.
Treasury bills, yes.
Yes. There are, there are some farming schemes now that are outside there. Plant a tree. The yield does not come immediately. But you own it for
forever.
Yeah. So those are things people can do to wage this kind of turbulence.
But you see, the challenge, I think, is with us. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know if you will agree with me.
Yeah.
That we tend to be a people who think very much short term.
Yes.
Right? We don't think long term. People are usually concerned about what am I going to get today?
Today, yes.
Right? Let's take care of today, and tomorrow will take care of itself. Right? And that's how most people think. So even when you're telling them about saving, and then they're going to ask you, look, that 10 years you're talking about, 20 years you're talking about, will I even survive till then? So let me grab what I can grab now, eat what I can eat now, and then we can trust God. And that brings the religious out.
Or look at the local trader.
Yes.
Just like he said, they are job people. You understand? They assuming every day, just like he said, 1,000 every day.
Yes.
You drop 1,000 with somebody every day.
Yes.
At the end of the day, the only thing that person takes away is just one day.
Okay, but I can tell you.
No, wait. It takes away one day.
Okay.
That's discipline.
It's discipline.
That's the discipline I'm talking about. And that is a saving.
Yes.
In case of this kind of turbulence, when it happens,
you can draw.
You can always draw from that place. It doesn't shake you too much. It's not as if it don't shake you, but it doesn't shake you too much.
But have you heard of that person who is to take 1 day out of the 30 days? Have you heard of them?
Eloping with
one day. They are at the meeting waiting for that person to bring their money so that they can share. And then the person's phone is unreachable, and the person elopes with the money.
Yes,
it happens a lot. So I think what is important is that as people are putting that money aside, they should deal with reputable organizations.
Yes.
Deal with the bank, deal with the microfinance bank, and there are all a lot of reputable organizations that provide savings, programs like that. In fact, it's the Ajor system. In our culture,
even the conventional banks now do this.
They now do, yes. The conventional banks have now
most of them are
started to
build an app to.
They have apps that you can use. I mean, some apps are managing trillions of naira of people's savings just from their phone, and it can be deducted automatically. Because one of the challenges is, once you see the money, you spend it. So the trick is take the money out before I see it, and that way people can save a lot better. So that's an idea for you, viewers. Let them take the money, take the savings out before you begin to spend that money, because once you touch it, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone, right? So Richard, I want us to talk a little bit about, because our people are quite religious. Right?
Yes, it is exactly
quite religious, and many of us go to church or we go to the mosque, and we hear our religious leaders say to us, that if we bring this certain amount of money, tomorrow we're going to get this. If you want your finances to improve, you have to sow this. So there's seed sowing, there's seed faith, there's So many of us have believed these things. So, and there's nothing wrong with religious beliefs, right? But the interesting thing is that a lot of people have been doing these things for many years without doing the physical ones. So I call these religious activities. But without doing the physical activity of putting some money aside. So if you are giving money in church, what's wrong with putting some money aside with an investment bank or something like that? And even if you have to do the two on side by side, that may be able to help, because some people have sold so much money, and when they have needs, they go back to the church for help,
and the church is not there.
The church, of course,
it's not there.
So maybe church is so big, there's so many other needs, they're not able to help.
Yes, it's true.
Not that they don't want to help, but maybe they just are not able to help
at that time. Yes.
And then the person doesn't have anywhere to fall to, and begins to feel bad. What would you say about that? How should we manage this, our religiosity, with our savings culture?
You see, in anything you hear as a believer, whether you are a Muslim or a Christian, whatever anybody preach to you, you have to also confirm. You must confirm to understand. I'm not saying sowing to the church is very good. Sowing in the mosque is good to give money and all those stuff. But you do it with your sense of humanity. Think about your family. God gave you that family to take care on his behalf, to take care of them. So you wouldn't do it. It wouldn't sound nice. You have 500,000 and somebody tells you in the church, your family is there, they have not taken anything, and you went to sow.
You haven't paid school fees.
Yeah, you have not paid school fees. There is a lot of pressure, and you went to go and sow everything to the church. No. It's not. I don't think it's right.
But you saw everything, believing that there will be miracle money.
No,
right?
no, you don't.
Somehow money will enter into your.
No, miracle money is what you have worked for.
Oh, how is what
you have worked for? You are kind of expecting, but it has not dropped. You can now your expectation. You can I'm sowing this seed for God to touch you. I've done a job for you, for God to touch your heart to pay me. I can do that. Okay, maybe let me sow 1,000 so that God can speak to your heart. You are owing me 500,000 so that you can pay me. Okay. That is sensible enough.
Pay on time.
Pay on time.
Does God really need your money?
No, God.
That's a different. That's a different discussion. That's a different discussion.
So in other thing as well is you also invest into bonds.
Bonds.
Yes.
So I think one of the most important things that I think we need to do is to advise our people, and we're not financial advisors by any stretch of imagination. This is just a conversation amongst men. They are the things that touch us amongst men. I think it's important for people to understand the different ways to invest their money.
Yes.
Most people don't have financial literacy. I have a friend who does programs on financial literacy. In fact, written a book, that he gives to children, in fact, because he has to start from childhood, and once we have that as a habit, once you build it as a habit, then it becomes part of you. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Viewers, we're going to go on a short break right now. I believe you found the conversation interesting, and we'll go on this short break, and when we come back, we will continue our conversation on financial fortitude for men. Please join us again. Welcome and thank you for joining us again. And we're going to be having a continuation of our conversation on financial fortunes in uncertain times. I still have my guests here, Mr. Ojo and Mr. Richards. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And let's continue our conversation. Now that at least you've taken some water and you've relaxed a little bit, we're going to take the conversation further.
Okay.
And what I want to talk about now is financial mistakes. Do you believe, first of all, I'll start with you, Mr. Ojo. Do you believe that some men make financial mistakes, maybe stupid mistakes? Because I think we can separate stupid mistakes from genuine mistakes. Because so maybe we can look at that. And this usually happens when men feel pressured for money problems, by money problems. I still remember the song by Raskimono. I don't know if you remember that song. Raskimono, I think, was ahead of his time in Nigeria when he started to sing that song, Under Pressure, Under Pressure.
Yes.
Yeah, you remember that song? Yes. So, and as he was singing the song, I think a lot of Nigerians really resonated with the song. It resonated very well with most Nigerians because we feel pressured. I don't know if any of us here has not felt the pressure of money problems in our country, Nigeria. So tell us, why do men feel pressured by money problems? And what are the most common financial mistakes that men make when they feel pressured?
No, number one, financial mistakes men make when they feel pressured.
Yes.
You see, they get easily lured into all these schemes.
Like the schemes we talked about earlier, the Ponzi schemes and all
they
of
get
that.
easily lured into it. Somebody comes to you and tells you, I just drop 5 naira. In 24 hours, you get 10 naira.
But he's showing you the proof,
he's showing
right?
you the proof.
Yeah, a lot of times they show you the proof on their phone.
He even lures you into it.
Yes.
You throw in the first amount of money.
Yes.
You get the result. It comes out at 10 naira.
Then
you do the second one more. And he tells you, just increase what you are putting there.
Yes.
At the end of the day, before you know it, he doesn't even need to push you further again.
Yeah.
You are putting in
train is moving.
Yeah, you are putting in 1 million.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day,
and you are putting in your children's school fees
and everything. Your money is gone.
Yeah.
Your money is gone. So those are some of those things that we push ourselves into.
Yes. And a lot of people have experienced it because you've either done MMM or you've done even some of these network marketing schemes, right? A lot of you don't hear so much about them anymore.
Yes.
Because I think most people got their fingers burnt, right? They thought they were dealing with, reputable companies and they have products. So, so you find overpriced products and then they have to push you because you have to have your downlines, you understand? So to get those downlines, you convince your family members and then they lose their monies and there's bad blood. So sometimes poor financial decisions can destroy families.
Yes, mostly.
Can even destroy marriages.
Yes.
Some people die and then just because they were rich, they had a lot of wealth, properties and things like that, their children begin to fight. And siblings who had a good relationship amongst them before begin to fight over properties that their fathers have. So it probably would have been better if the parent didn't have so much money to fight on. So there's a lot of those financial mistakes. Can you think of any? Richard?
No budget, no planning.
No budget,
no planning.
Oh, okay. I think we can say that. Put that in. Okay, budget is planning.
Yes, we can probably integrate it into one. So when a man doesn't plan, everybody is, especially in our system that is a very volatile system. So we go through a lot of...
doesn't even allow you to plan.
Yes, it doesn't come so... Okay, just for example, we are already experiencing high in fuel. You already
Who planned for it? Who budgeted 1,400?
But you have to boil down to what Mr. Chai said at the opening. Discipline as a man, even if you have 100 naira or 1,000 naira, you must be able to be disciplined to plan. You have a family that will, someday you need to take care of them, whether feeding, schooling, whatever thing. You list all these things down. Then you plan any money that comes to you. The moment that money comes, you
know what it's for.
Yes, you've budgeted for it. You've planned. Nobody can now bring scheme to come and say, anybody that comes to, I know I'm expecting 100,000. I've already budgeted for it. This is going to my school fees for feeding for this month, for the next 2 months. And you are coming to tell me, if I put 10,000 here, it will give me 20,000. I will not listen to you if I'm a disciplined man.
Thank you for putting that. Because if you are a
disciplined man,
so you are not disciplined.
No, you have to.
You're more excitable.
Sir, you are the head of the house. Everything boils down to you. Your wife is just there. If you marry a good wife, she's just there to support you. But the whole arrowhead is on you. So you must be able to be disciplined to plan whatever come across to you. With the little income, you can discipline yourself to do that.
So talking about spouses, right,
Okay.
and the cultural context.
Yes.
You know, in Nigeria, or maybe most parts of Africa, you realize that there's so much pressure on the man. The man is paying rent, is paying the school fees of 4 or 5 children, right? He has to put food on the table. He pays for everything, up to even detergents to wash clothes in the house. The man has to pay. If they need to buy milk in the morning, the milk I think costs about 800 naira now. They need to buy milk of 800 naira. They will say, go and ask daddy.
Yes.
How does that put pressure on Nigerian men? Is it possible that that is what leads to, you know, early exit of most men? Because men died before women in Nigeria, right?
Let me even talk on that, because everything must start from planning.
Yes.
If you don't want to go into that kind of situation, you plan the number of children you want to have.
That to start with, right?
Yes, to start with. You plan the number of children you want to have.
But some people believe that it's God that gives children now.
That is the discipline we're talking
It's
about.
God that gives children. How can you control that?
You see, and the problem is, this thing is God that gives children always holds with the poor people. The rich man does not have more than just maybe 2 children.
Most wealthy people have 1 or 3. Yes, yes.
You see, the man
even the richest man in the world.
Yes, the man who earns as little as a token, goes about, you know, flying that kite of say children are God's heritage.
But that's his investment now. That's the investment for the future.
Okay.
But a lot of people, they look at children as investment.
It's okay. Yeah, but a lot of us too pray that we don't get into a situation where if my child does not bring money, I won't eat.
Yes.
See, my obligation,
That's another thing.
The obligation of the children is train them, and leave them alone
to live their life.
Yeah.
Don't depend on them.
Yes.
If they bring,
don't mind.
If they don't bring, don't hold it against them.
Yeah.
You know, because they're also going through their own hustle.
Yeah. So, Mr. Richard,
so
how do men stay calm under pressure? How do we stay calm? So the investment is not there.
Okay.
The savings is not there. But there is need. There's a pressure. You have to bring a certain amount of money.
Okay.
Will it not make a man go crazy?
No, if you decide to do that, you have to, as a man, at all time, you must remain calm. It is in your calmness you can think well.
So, okay. So,
when you think well, creativities can come.
Yeah.
And as a man, any opportunity you have, invest in yourself.
Okay.
So when you invest in yourself, you can be a bit creative to do things that can bring money. Yes. And how do you do things that will bring money? You do that when you are calm. Ideas will come. If I have an idea, I come to you, I speak about it. And it's something you've been looking for.
Yes.
That is a value.
Yes.
If I render that services to you, you can pay me for my services. Okay. So at any time when you are under pressure and you allow the pressure to hook up with you as a man, 1, your health will be challenging.
Correct.
Your physical being will be challenging. 3, you will not think well. And a man that cannot think well, creativities, ideas cannot come on how to solve it. Because first of all, you are the leader of the house. Correct. So you mustn't stay as a panic person. Because your children are looking up to you, your wife are looking up to you, even the community is looking up to you. So if you're under duress and you are getting panic, everybody will now say, what is happening? Before you know, your BP will shoot up. So whatever pressure may come to you, the best thing is for you to remain calm and think out of the box. That is why you see, I learned certain things from billionaires. You see them, sometimes they go somewhere, maybe hotels, retreat, and they will purposely rent an apartment that has a sea view. So
look at the calm of the
water. You are giving me some good ideas.
Yes, they look at the calm of, it's the nature.
Yeah.
So from there, ideas can come
will
up.
Ideas will
So if you probably have disciplined yourself and make some saving, during those pressure time that your family is giving to you, you can maybe walk out to some places and relax. It could be a park. It's not, it's not necessary you have to go and get an hotel.
It doesn't have to be.
So you can see the environment, you think about it, and it calms you, and you can able to have solution to it.
Wow. Excellent. Thank you so much. In fact, from all the things you have discussed, I believe that our viewers would have been able to pick a lot of solutions to financial challenges in their lives. So I really hope that you got some things from this. It's very important for us to save. Like we have said here today, learn to save at least 10% of your income. As it's coming, it's going out, is the first thing you do by that law of pay yourself first. If everybody in your life is getting paid, why don't you pay yourself first? You are the most important person in the equation, right? Pay yourself first, because if you are not there, how will others survive? So you need to pay yourself first. That 10%, put it aside and look for a viable, reputable investment instrument to put it in. So what I advise is that you talk with your financial advisor, walk into your bank, tell them you want to discuss about investments. The banks would, I mean, I could have given you my bank, but sorry, you know, we're not doing adverts here. But go to your local bank and they will be able to advise you on how to invest your money. Really, really important that you are able to invest for the future. It's important that we put aside some emergency funds, because someone could fall sick, there could be something really urgent that you need to take care of. And sometimes, of course, business, if you're in business, business could be slow, right? Business could be slow. There are times maybe for the first 3 months of the year, there's no business. So how are you going to sustain yourself? And like we have also said, it's very important that you maintain a budget. You have to plan. And don't go into all these crazy Ponzi schemes and you know, money doublers, you know, bring in 10 naira today, get 20 naira tomorrow. A lot of those things, if not all, are deadly schemes. They have led a lot of people to their early graves. All right, so with that, I'm going to leave you to go and, you know, think back on all the things that we have said. And at this point, would like to sign out. I want to say a very big thank you to you for joining us. So thank you, gentlemen, for bringing your words of wisdom into this matter. My name is Victorious Victor again, and thank you very much.
And this is a shout out to Achievement Channel. Keep doing what you are doing. We love you. You are doing fantastically well. We are proud of you. Keep watching Achievement Channel.
Again, my name is Dr. Edward Bush, one of the co-founders and president-elect of AMEN. That stands for the African American Male Education Network and Development. I want to give a big up and a big shout out to the Achievement Channel for all the great work that you're doing, motivating and inspiring the young people of Nigeria. Keep up the outstanding work, Achievement Channel.
It has been an incredibly insightful session. We've learned that financial fortitude isn't just about having money, but about the discipline to manage it and the resilience to stay calm when the economy shifts. A big thank you to my guests, Richard Ayo and Wosu Chari Ojo, for sharing their practical strategies on building economic strength and leading with clarity through uncertainty. To our viewers, discipline is the foundation of every great decision. So stay focused, stay grounded, and keep striving to be the very best version of yourself. And don't forget to follow us at Achievement Channel across Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube, all the social media channels for more inspiring conversations and transformational stories. Remember, keep seeing possibilities in everything you do. Thank you for joining us.
I'm Dr. Fumi Akinyele. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Food Basket Foundation International. Shout out to Achievement Channel. You guys have been fantastic. You've been here, you've been engaged. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
My name is Henry Onokoba. I'm a senior fellow and full-time faculty at Lagos Business School. Hello, everybody. This is Achievement Channel, your best channel in Lagos. Make sure you tune in. Thank you.
My name is Mariam Aliko Mohammed, and I'm a professional and personal development professional. Okay, hi, Achievement Channel. Thank you very much for having me. Well done.
Success is not just about what you do, but how you show up.
Your style speaks before you do. Style is confidence, and confidence drives success. From the boardroom to the runway, your presence matters. Welcome to Style to Success, where fashion meets ambition. Your journey to success starts with confidence. This is Style to Success, only on the Achievement Channel. Follow us at Achievement Channel for more style and success insights.
Hello, and welcome to Style to Success, the show where style meets strategy on the journey to professional excellence. I am your host, Ayodele Oluwole, and you are watching Style to Success on the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's 100% motivational TV station, broadcasting from the iconic School of Eloquence studio right here in Ikoyi, Lagos, Nigeria. On this program, we spotlight bold, stylish, and visionary individuals who have turned personal flair for appearance, creativity, and communication into remarkable success stories. Today's guest is someone whose journey perfectly embodies the spirit of the show, Akinpelumi Akinboye, a seasoned communication expert, prolific content creator, and founder of one of Nigeria's most visited gospel music platforms, BelieversCompanion.com. With over 48 million monthly visitors and 600,000 plus loyal podcast listeners, he is not only a digital media powerhouse, but also a testament to how strategy, creativity, and style can drive outstanding achievements. Akinpelumi Akinboye, you're welcome to Style to Success.
Thank you so much, Ayodele. It's a pleasure to be here.
And I like to say that you look dapper as usual.
Oh, thank you. I can say the same thing about you.
So let's take it back. Let's take it back to the beginning of how you started, your content channel and all. So I like to say that you built a personal, and professional brand. So please take us back. What are those things that sparked your interest, in this communication and media, sector that you have ventured into?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that's a brilliant question. You see, my journey into this started from a point of pain. What do I mean? Back in secondary school, I gain admission into a particular institution. Back in our days, these days when you write JAMB and the rest of it, you get an SMS, you are notified about your admission. But ours, during our time, was not like that. You had to go to the school to go and check your name if you've been admitted. So I lost an admission due to lack of communication. And I vowed that I would never be in that position again. And of course, I was passionate that nobody should be in that position again. And that led to the creation of my first blog called School News Nigeria. I think I was 16 at the time. So that was the beginning for me.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So that's really incredible, I must say. Many people consume content, but not many build empires out of it. So what was your vision when you created BelieversCompanion.com?
You see, my passion for gospel music led to the creation of Believer's Companion. However, I was not as passionate as I am now when I started. What really happened was back in the days, people buy CDs to listen to music. So back then I was in the Polytechnic, Osun State Polytechnic, and the choir at the time wanted a song that they've of course purchased the CD, but the CD was giving them problem. And someone said, oh, why not put this song on your blog so we could download it and listen and then rehearse it. So it occurred to me that, okay, I could do that. I know a couple of other blogs who promote secular music. Why can't I just put this song for them to download? So that led to the creation of the first one. So my passion for solving problem, everywhere I find myself, had always led me to channel my ability to do things, and that exactly led to the creation of Believers Companion. First of all, of course, I love listening to gospel music, but at that time there was a problem. This choir needed to rehearse the song. Everybody needs to listen to the song at the same time. The CD was not working. I have a blog already, like I mentioned. I started School News Nigeria when I was quite young, and the opportunity came for me to put up a song for them to download and listen to and rehearse. So I went ahead and do that. And in less than a week or two, I saw that over 40,000 people had downloaded that song on my blog. And I said, wow, so people are actually looking for gospel music. So that led to the creation of Believers Companion from scratch.
Wow, good one. Impressive. Well done, my brother. Yeah. Well done. So let's talk about style. We're not just talking about fashion.
Yes.
You know, now we're talking about, you know, your charisma, your confidence, how you carry yourself. How do you think that has helped, you know, your success and credibility?
You see, there's a popular phrase that says, you are dressed the way you're dressed, right? I strongly believe that your appearance is your first handshake. I mean, especially when you're walking into a meeting, the first thing people observe about you is your style, is what you're wearing. Before you even speak a particular word, they've assessed you based on how you present yourself, and your style goes beyond what you're wearing. Also, how you carry yourself, how you coordinate yourself, how you interact with people. All these define your style and directly define who you are. So I think style is very important in everything you do, especially if you are in an industry where you interact with people a lot. You have to you have to look at your style and pay more attention to your style.
Good one.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I think that's quite insightful. So I think it's now safe to say that, you know, the way you appear can have a lot of influence on, you know, the places you find yourself, on the doors that will be open to you, on the opportunities, you know, that will be around you in whatever you do. So it's a good one. Well done.
Thank you.
So we'll move on to the next question.
Okay.
And the next question will be, you know, now behind the scenes. Let's talk about behind the scenes. Let's get real. So what are those daily routines, some discipline that you've imbibed into yourself, you know, that you think has really helped the growth of your brand?
That's a very brilliant question. You see, we celebrate success without discussing the discipline that brought this person to this level. You see, growing up, I want to say a special thank you to my mother for ensuring that some principles, some discipline were introduced to us at a very young age. You know, like for example, up to today, I still wake up every day by 4:30 a.m. It's by default because I'm used to it, because my mom ensure that we wake up early to do our responsibility, to carry out our responsibility before we step out every day. So because I wake up that early, I have enough time to prepare for my day, to make sure that I do. For example, up to today, I still look for stories of gospel musicians to tell through my blog. I have a 9 to 5. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I want to do, of course, after praying, is to write about the gospel musician I want to promote at that particular, maybe throughout the day or until so time. You know, people pay and say, oh, please talk about my song for so number of time or for today or whatsoever. So I have enough time to plan that, to strategize, to come up with content that I can share with my team to say, today, this is what we are doing. So I have time, enough time in my hand to plan and to get my day ready. And of course, when you're at work, you know, you're at work, you face your work squarely. But after work, because I am used to it, it's easier for me to blend into it, do more work before I sleep. I watch TV, of course. I watch a lot of movies. You know, I watch movies. I have time for all these things because I have planned it, because I have done it over and over and over. Okay, this time I am updating my blog. This time I am looking for stories to tell. This time I am engaging with people. This time I am interviewing people. This time I am training my staff. This time is my leisure time. I have a family, I have a wife, I have a beautiful daughter, which I spend quality time with. So because I have been able to plan these things, it was easy for me to play all these roles without conflicting one another. So that discipline, that ability to plan, to wake up early, to do the things I need to do without thinking about, of course, it's difficult sometimes, but you just know where you're going to, you know where you're going to, and you know what you want to achieve. And because of that, you have enough time to do all these things, to function in all these roles effortlessly.
A good one. So it's safe to say that this discipline that you have imbibed in yourself has really helped you to be consistent for over 13 years in the communication and media space.
Yes.
So that's really impressive.
Thank you very much.
Viewers, we'll be right back after this short break to hear more insightful stories from Akinpelumi Akinboye. Stay tuned.
Again, my name is Dr. Edward Bush, one of the co-founders and president-elect of